It's never happened a crossover east to west.
Yeah.
It's happened 12 times in the past. It's always been west to east.
West to east. So
this should be the first time in the 27 years.
So Hamilton still has a chance, even if they don't catch Toronto, to make playoffs. But yeah, why is this the first time I'm hearing about this all season? I feel like we didn't...
It's because you watch NFL, you never watch CFL, so
But in all the videos we've made, we've never talked about the cross-off. But now it's just...
Because it wasn't a point until now.
All right, CFL fans, welcome back. My name's Cody. This is Don. We're your hosts of the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast. And Week 17 is in the books. And another exciting one for Bombers fans, Ticats fans, Rough Riders fans, and Argos fans. Those are your winners. And we'll get into all of that right away. So, we'll kick it off here with a little recap. Game 1 was the Ticats and Lions, correct? Or was it Bombers and Elks?
Bombers and Elks.
Bombers and Elks kicked it off this week. Doubleheader on Friday night. Back end of a home-and-home. Elks traveled to Winnipeg. And in a game that Edmonton needed to win, they were unable to successfully beat the Winnipeg Bombers. In fact, they were destroyed, 27-55. You caught that game, correct?
Caught them all.
And what did you think?
Well, if I can just go back to the week before on the game that they should have won, they're now done. They're not making the playoffs.
Because they're behind, well, Calgary's last, so they would have to overtake BC.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They had to win
at least one
games.
Yeah.
And it has to be some of the worst coaching that I've ever seen.
Which is what we've seen, kind of all season with the Elks, the up-down turmoil with the coaching.
This guy who took over, he didn't do very well the first 2 games. And then he started getting into a groove. He banged off like 4 games. And then I don't know what happened in these last 2 games, but it's been terrible.
Yeah, play calling, coverage, everything. Like the Bombers ran all over them.
Yeah.
And it was evident in the second game, for sure. But the Bombers are definitely dominant right now. They're the best team in the league. They could not find a way to stop them. And like you said, they needed to win at least one of those 2 games. Because going forward, they now play the Rough Riders, the Stampeders, and the Argos. So, I mean, they'd have to win out. And BC would probably have to drop, 2 or 3? So
I have highlights.
All right, let's kick it off.
All right, let's go with the first one. We're 3 minutes into the first quarter.
This week. Second down and 10 with time. Looking deep. End zone. Touchdown, Dembski. One big strike.
Dembski had a great game. He was all over the place in this one.
He was. Then we'll go to the next one. Again, in the first quarter, they're up 10-zip. Airs one out again.
Here. Jake
That's
Trainer
a
of
weak ball,
EIC. Jake, would you just describe EIC's hand in allowing this,
So,
enabling this initiative to happen to get kids here? Sure,
at like that point, it's going bad. This is going to be a long.
They were scoring at will in that one.
With Oliveira,
then we go to second quarter early, and Oliveira.
Good one, second and 10 now.
And rumbles it.
Yeah, a little remnants of beast mode there, Marshawn Lynch.
And again,
plowed through those defenders.
Again, I ended this clip early because he started doing that chicken dance again. This is what he's going to be known for now, eh? His whole career. That stupid chicken dance that he does. It's embarrassing.
It's his touchdown celebration.
He started it last week.
Yeah.
He never did it before. Okay? And that was because it was his third consecutive season with 1,000 yards or more.
Yeah.
and so he did a little chicken dance. Then when he scored again, his teammates were doing it, and he was but you could see that he didn't really want to. And now he back to the chicken. You're a grown-ass man.
They all do the crazy celebrations.
Okay, I understand the crazy celebrations, but I would expect this out of a 4-year-old.
So was that 20? Winnipeg was 24-0 at halftime, I think. Oh no, 34-6 at halftime. But they were up 24-0 at one point in the first half.
Where am I now? Oh, okay, now.
Oh, this lineman.
We're in the second quarter still, 8 minutes into it, and Macbeth. I thought it was close to a forward pass, but they felt it was a backwards pass. They went to the command center, everything else, right? Yeah, and Bombers scoop it up and run it in for a touchdown.
2nd and 6.
And
dumping it off.
At that point,
and Rankin had to hang on to that ball. Taiwan Garbett picks it up.
And this guy just turned on the Jets, too. Look at him go.
He's a big boy, too, eh?
Get into the Edmonton end zone.
Yeah.
So, now I didn't include all of the Blue Bomber touchdowns because there's just too many of them.
Yeah, they were not giving up. There's no quit with that Bomber offense.
But I did have some things that I thought that stood out. This one here, Clara's pass to Dembski. Look at this.
Second
They're
and
going to have it in slow-mo. Look at this catch.
Down the left and open. Dembski.
Watch this. Look at this. Just before it hits the floor, he gets his hands.
Yeah, underneath.
Nice catch there. Then we're going again, and this one was to Lawler. Again, you have to see it slow-mo, one-handed.
Yeah,
this second.
I made note of that one too.
Crazy.
Bringing it in.
So then we're going to...
Lawler. Are you watching this? Kenny Lawler grabs with that one hand.
Finally,
Touchdown, 5 minutes
Lewis,
on the clock.
again.
2nd and 5. Bethel Thompson lots of time.
That was a nice catch in stride too. That was a nice catch as well.
Right.
Catch deserves another.
Then here we go.
Gino Lewis.
We're in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes left. Look at this catch again by Lawler.
On the second 5.
Look how he stays in bounds.
Into the end zone.
It's the only thing I don't like about the CFL is that you only need the 1 foot. It's so much more exciting in the NFL when you have the 2 feet, the tiptoe down. But I mean, great catch nonetheless. A defender was all over him. He was able to keep, they're trained to keep the 1 foot, so that's exactly what he needed to do, and it looked great. Good catch.
And then Edmonton on the last play of the game airs it out.
They get from the 3 veterans inside.
Garbage point touchdown.
So, if we're talking about things that we don't like,
Did he hang on to that? On a night of
you know what I don't like about the NFL?
What's that?
The fair catch. It's like, I'm going to kiss the ball. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. In the CFL, you got to stay back 5 yards. Then you get to cream the shit out of the guy who catches the ball. Okay, that's a man's sport. Not, I'm waving my arm. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Fuck's sake.
You gotta choose one side. On one side, you're like, oh my god, they're making dirty hits. Blah blah blah. And on some, you're like, I want to see them get creamed. You gotta pick one side. You gotta pick one side.
Clean hits are fine. I'm not a fan of dirty hits, but I'm definitely not a fan of waving my arm. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Well, this is a football game. You're not a sissy.
So I have 7th straight for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and they're rolling. They clinched a playoff spot, I think, after this win. So
yes, they did.
So they're sitting on top of the West, and with a division that we thought no one wanted to win, the Bombers have broken through, and I think you'll have to go through Winnipeg to get to the Grey Cup.
I almost forgot. Now that we're talking about the Bombers, time for the Player of the Week. Zach Collaros. 21 for 26, 432 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he didn't even play the whole game.
No interceptions?
No interceptions.
Damn, that is a good game.
It was between him and Hiralahu. There's 8 field goals on our record.
Yeah.
On a sloppy field where last week I picked Leggio because it was such a shitty field. Well, the field wasn't much better this time, but I'm sorry, when a guy throws 6 touchdowns, you kind of got to pick him.
6 touchdowns and over 400 yards passing.
So I think that was a good choice for this week.
There you go. Potentially, I mean, no one's really stood out, but he could be MOP, right?
No, it's such a terrible start.
So who's going to be MOP? Oliveira?
I know who I think will be MOP, who I got my cash on.
Yeah.
At D-back for Saskatchewan. The guy who...
Oh, Mulligan?
Yeah. I've got him for MOP.
Really? A defensive player? That's rare.
Very rare. I have him.
Because we've said this all season. There hasn't really been a consistent offensive player that's looked good for the entire season.
He caught another interception this weekend.
Yeah.
So, people are talking, maybe Bo, right?
Bo would be another one if they make the playoffs.
But
you can't put up all these numbers and then just miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but okay, you have to look also. Let's see who's higher up. If it's going to be Saskatchewan or Hamilton.
What in the
standings?
Yeah.
And we have to see if Hamilton makes the playoffs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Speaking of Hamilton, this is going to be a long video, kids. Okay, you've heard about the crossover and how the crossover works, right?
No.
Okay. They established the CFL crossover 27 years ago to say, okay, if you've got a team in the West who is better than the third place team in the East, because we don't want crappy teams making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So in the 27 years of the crossover, there's been 12. And it's always been West teams going to the East. This year is the potential, the first time ever, of an East team going to the West. If Hamilton finishes better than Calgary, Edmonton, and BC, they cross over to the West playoffs.
I did see something like that, and I thought it was just like I didn't understand really what they were going for. I'm trying to find it here in the CFL chatter group.
Well,
but so basically,
now you know.
3 teams in the West wouldn't get in, and you'd have all 4 teams in the East.
Yeah.
So you'd have Bombers in Saskatchewan right now,
for example, and then all 4 teams in the East.
Interesting, and that's happened before.
No, it's never happened to crossover East to West.
Yeah.
It's happened 12 times in the past. It's always been West to East.
West to East. So
So
the best
this
team.
should be the first time in the 27 years.
So Hamilton still has a chance, even if they don't catch Toronto to
Yes.
make the playoffs. But yeah, why is this the first time I'm hearing about this all season? I feel like we didn't.
It's because you watch NFL, you never watch CFL, so you
But in all the
so
videos we've made, we've never talked about the crossover. But now it's just
because it wasn't a point until now.
yeah.
Okay, like every team's got like 3 games left.
Because right now, like the BC is 7-8, and the Ticats are 6-9.
Yeah,
So if Hamilton wins and BC loses, they'd have the tied record.
yeah. Now I don't know if Hamilton is going to win this weekend, but they still got 2 games after that, and if they win those 2, there's a good chance they get in.
Wow. So you see all 4 teams. That'd be interesting.
It's CFL history.
Yeah. But I mean, even if they'd still be under 500, which is kind of crazy. But all right, so should we get into the Hamilton game then?
Was that the next game?
Hamilton and BC, which they just beat them.
Hamilton and BC. Okay.
So they beat them in the head-to-head.
So
if
at
they do end up
halftime-
with a tied record, then
Yeah.
Hamilton would go ahead.
So at halftime, Hamilton's down 16-0.
Yep.
And I got to give Bo, this guy, he wasn't too good in the first half. In the second half, I don't know what happened to Bo during halftime. Do you know what his passing stats were in the second half?
I don't.
29 for 30. Or 29 out of 30 completions.
Holy.
And he's marching down the field and throwing. I'm going, holy cow. I'm going, Hamilton is going to win this game. And even though it got pushed into overtime. And again, then they have the coin toss. Bo, he's in there for the coin toss. He calls tails. They get tails. He goes, they can have the ball first. And he knew exactly what he had to do.
Yeah.
You know
but
what?
they scored, right? They scored the touchdown. BC scored the field goal, and then Hamilton went down and scored a touchdown.
Now, again, on the touchdown, there was no call. And the Hamilton coach challenged it for pass interference. You got this commentator who's saying, well, I don't think that it's pass, interference, blah, blah, blah. And then it was reversed and it was called it. And he goes, well, he grabbed his jersey, but I wouldn't have called it. He grabbed his jersey here and was pulling him down when he's trying to catch the ball. And then he's going, well, it was me. And it's like, you know what? You're embarrassing yourself. Shut up. They made the proper call here. Stop defending how you feel about this thing because you're wrong. Anyways, highlights.
Yeah, let's run through the highlights on this one.
Okay, so we are... Okay, we didn't even have highlights until the third quarter.
Yeah, Rourke had a rushing touchdown the first. Hamilton couldn't sack Rourke, and he kept scrambling around, making plays.
He actually ran in 2 touchdowns. But this one was to Bell.
We're here again, extra lineman
is a
game for Hamilton
So
to give inside the
he gets
bell.
in there, and then they decide they're going to go for the 2-pointer.
Will score or will he?
And who gets the 2-pointer?
2 arms up.
Who gets it?
Touchdown.
Take a look right there. Wide open. Bo Levi Mitchell gets the 2-pointer.
Looks like they're going to throw it back to Mitchell. Tim White to Mitchell on the
Nice.
play.
Then we're again in the fourth quarter. And the scoreboard again. But this time, the ball doesn't come down.
Yeah, they got to do something about this scoreboard.
What are they going to do? It's happened more this season than it's ever happened.
I was going to say, has it ever happened before? It seemed like it was the first time it happened, and then now it happens every other week in BC.
It's just, you know what it's going to cost them if they have to raise that scoreboard? No. And to say, and I know that you're probably going to say, well, this doesn't happen in the NFL. Well, it's happened in Dallas, okay? So just stop.
But the ref was laughing around at that one. It was kind of funny.
Okay, so then we got 5 minutes left. Bo gets the touchdown. And so now it's 23.
End zone open. Touchdown, Hamilton.
Went for 2, so 23-19. Guys, and then Bo again.
Just over a minute to go. Mitchell drops back, has a receiver, and it is caught for the touchdown. Hamilton takes the lead. It's O'Leary Orange again.
That way they're up 26-23 with a minute left.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they allowed
Quick throw has it. Touchdown, Tim
BC
White. And
to
Hamilton.
march all the way down the field to get a field goal to make it
Tied up overtime, yeah.
So then BC starts off. They can't score. They look terrible on that overtime drive. And they got a field goal. And then Saskatchewan. That's Hamilton. This was the pass interference call. So
Lions come with just 3. The throw into the end
guy
zone
here,
is incomplete. No
you watch it.
After review by the command center, we have
look,
pass
pulling on you.
interference. BC number
It's not.
21,
His back
fouls
is
in
to the ball. There's no.
It was obvious.
And
Then
he runs
hand
it,
off,
yeah.
and Betray gets it, and it's goal. And that was a good call by the command center because that was definitely pass interference. And I was happy because I wanted Hamilton to beat BC. I would actually like to see the crossover happen from the east.
Yeah, seeing
I would
Hamilton
love to
go
see
over, that
that.
would be exciting.
I like seeing history when it happens. So, all right, what was the next game?
Next game would have been Saskatchewan and Ottawa.
Okay, so
Saskatchewan needed this win after they've looked absolutely horrible the last couple weeks.
That was again in the first half. It was just all field goals. It was still anybody's game, and then we got Jeremiah Mazzoli, your pal.
Season and 1,000 yards, hardly one of them.
And this just in.
Nice pass,
Messiah.
Wrong guy. Okay,
Was that Mulligan's interception?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Yep. And it's still anybody's game. So Ottawa gets the ball back, and Saskatchewan's only up. Oh, sorry, this is in the second quarter. Saskatchewan's only up 6-0. This is Ottawa's next set of downs after that interception.
Masoli,
Okay,
looks to his
they're
corner ball for grabs, and
right midfield.
Back-to-back
They're going to get that ball down there. Mazzoli goes back to pass.
And Saskatchewan
Wrong guy. Picked off again. Okay, Jeremiah.
Yeah, 3 interceptions for Mazzoli
Nice
in
job.
this game.
Nice job. So then we're going to go to third quarter. Mazzoli gets picked off again. Another interception. And at this point,
One of the day.
But he'll drop right
There
underneath
is-
it, and Jeremiah Mazzoli thought he was...
they're only down 12-3. There's a Saskatchewan 45. 5 minutes in the third quarter. It's still anybody's game. Not after that, it's not. So he gets picked off. So then, okay, we got that one. Finally, Mazzoli throws a garbage time touchdown.
4 receivers to his right. Pumps, comes back to the right hand side.
So that's Pimpleton too?
Intercepted.
I think it was Pimpleton.
Third one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
day.
But he'll drop right underneath it, and Jeremiah Mazzoli thought he was picked up at the line of scrimmage.
And yeah, that's the highlights for like that game. There was only Ottawa got the one touchdown. I think Saskatchewan only got one touchdown on the ground. Everything else was field goals.
Yeah.
Again, this is a game, Ottawa, just like against the Alouettes last week. A game they could have won, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And this one falls 100%.
Where was Drew Brown in this game? Is he hurt?
Yeah,
He's hurt.
100% on Jeremiah because he had them in good position 3 times.
3 interceptions.
Terrible interceptions.
So Ottawa, they were closing in on the Alouettes at the top of the East, and they've dropped what, 2
I think they
or
broke
3 straight. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 in a row. Their last win was week 14 against the Argos.
And you know what? I can't see them winning anytime soon.
Well, yeah, so next week they're
Just
off.
collapsed.
They're off week 18.
And they'll probably still find a way to lose.
Then they play the Alouettes and the Argos. Alouettes-Argos tie-cuts to close out the season.
Yeah.
So 3 tough games against the top or the other 3 in the East.
Yeah, I believe they've had 3 weeks now to wrap up a playoff spot. And haven't been able to do
They
it.
can't do it yet.
Can't do it.
So they'll look to recap and reset for week 19.
But see,
Back there.
I don't know how, because Drew Brown is playing terrible. Mazzoli is playing terrible. What hope do they have?
Well, yeah, and Crumb's not that great either. So
Crumb's gone.
is he out?
They dumped him.
Oh, they dumped him completely?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They said, you're not the guy.
They got rid of
Bye
him
bye.
and Armstead. Oh, interesting. All right. So, shall we move on to
Argos Alouettes.
Argos Alouettes? Final game of the week.
We can.
All right, what do you got? Kick us off here with the highlights.
I got highlights.
Let's do it. How did Fajardo play in this one? I wasn't able to catch any of this one.
Terrible. Okay, so Argos are up 3-0 halfway through the first quarter. Kelly throws a pick in the rain, and then the Yellows had the ball around the 15, and it was a little past Fletcher.
For Fajardo now, looking off to his right. It is caught, and it is a touchdown for
He
Walter.
marched the ball into the end zone, and Alouettes are up. And then it was just field goals. At least the Argos played it smart this time. 3rd and 1. We need the points. We need the playoffs. Let's get the field goal.
Yeah.
And so they did. Next we got Fajardo.
And Tyson Philpott.
This is a twofer. Gets the ball to Speaker. What I've been saying all year. Get the ball to Speaker. Get the ball to Rambo. Then, again, look at this catch. Look at it. Brayton's stride. Boom. I got you.
Yeah, Speaker's had a great second half of the season.
But, again, nothing basically to Rambo. Fajardo did not look good. That's all I have to say about that. Here's the punt. Watch this guy here. This is Letcher.
John Haggerty.
Oh, yes. This guy had a big return in the other game.
Like, who? Is anyone covering this guy?
Isn't that the guy that had 107 yard receipt? Yeah, he's the one that had the 107 yard return a couple games ago.
Like, he's running up the sidelines. He's got a foot and a half.
Untouched.
And no one's even pushing him out of bounds. And then the final play I had to do, it was a field goal by Hirilau, because that was his Argo record, 8 field goals in a game, and again, they were playing on a swamp.
What a night for Lirim
The field was terrible. And to have him kick 8 for 8,
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Also, we just have to go back quickly just to the Saskatchewan game, because we were talking about this on the other video. The last play of the game when Pimpleton got pile drived
Body
into
slam,
the turf by Deontay Williams. Terrible. Shame on you.
Yeah, so he will decide his fate. CFL's deciding his fate right now. They're doing a hearing.
I'm telling you right now, he's out.
Not a history of a dirty player, so that will be on his side at least. Unfortunately,
he's going to be out.
I don't think they'll kick him out for the season. They haven't suspended
there's
anyone.
3 games left.
They haven't suspended anyone for any games for
Really?
dirtier plays.
But
They fined. No one's been suspended though,
for anything?
besides Chad Kelly.
Yeah, for 9 games.
Yeah, but like for hits
No,
and stuff,
this-
there's been other dirty hits that haven't had anything.
I believe he will be suspended for the 3 games of the regular season. That's what
Yeah, we'll follow up with that. You'll be able to find out what happens next week on our podcast here. We'll touch on that. But he does regret his decision, and his coach does say he's not a dirty player. They don't teach tackle like that. So I don't know if he was caught up in the moment or what, but yes, not a great look for Deontay Williams.
Nope, not a great look at all. Shameful.
All right, so looking ahead, I went 2-2 this last week. And let's see if I can get all of this here. There we go. 2-2, Don went 3-1. The Red Blacks and the Alouettes let me down. Rough Riders looked good this week, the first time in a while. I mean, they beat Calgary, they blew Calgary out, but Calgary is just the worst team right now, so can't put much on that. They were off this past week, and Bombers dominated and the Ticats dominated. So 3 games next week coming up. Got the Blue Bombers and the Ticats Friday night, and then it was 2 games on Saturday.
Yep.
Stampeders, Lions, and Rough Riders and Elks. So all West matchups. Ticats the only ones playing this week from the East. The Red Blacks, Alouettes, and Argos are all off. So who you got in the first game, Bombers and Ticats?
I don't know.
It's a tough one. They're both on fire right now.
I can honestly say I don't know. If Hamilton plays the first half the way they played against BC, they're done.
Yeah. Yeah, Bombers will take advantage.
They have to show up for the whole game. Hamilton's on fire. The Bombers are on fire. Hamilton has to win this game. The Bombers don't. But the Bombers want to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, exactly.
7 in a row. I got to go Bombers.
Pick them up. Blue Bombers. I'll be cheering for the Ticats at this game, and I'll be going with the Tiger Cats. Oski Wee Wee. Oski Wawa.
Yeah, that's as bad as a chicken dance.
All right, St. Peter's at the Lions. Lions need this win. I kind of hope the St. Peter's won because I would like to see that crossover as well. I'd like to see the Lions lose and the Ticats win. So I'm gonna go with my heart on this one because I'm out of the playoffs right now. I'm gonna go with St. Peter's. Be a nice little turnaround for them as well.
I'm going to go Lions just because they're not starting to work, I don't think.
I'm gonna put Vernon Adams in. What a mess there in the BC quarterback room. All these quarterback rooms are a mess. The only one that's been consistent is Mr. Caleras since his crummy start.
He's a terrible start.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
think his first touchdown pass like 5 weeks in or something, 4 or 5 weeks?
I was going to say, it took him a long time to get the first one.
All right, Rough Riders and Elks. Third game.
Got to go Saskatchewan. The Elks have just looked terrible.
And I'll go Elks on this one. I think they're going to look to keep their playoff hopes alive. But if I want... Yeah, Elks not going to go Rough Riders as well. All right, 2 splits. So, hoping for a little bit of a mini comeback here, but I think I'm down too much. That doesn't really matter at this point. All right, power rankings. I kept my top 3 the same. A little bit of movement at the bottom. Ticats are moved up to 4th with their little mini win streak, and the Elks Red Blacks have moved down. Saskatchewan had 2 good weeks, moved them up a little bit, and BC, with what's going on with their quarterback playing their offense, dropped them down to 2nd last. So Don's got a new number 1. The Bombers finally hit the top of the charts for him. Alouettes moved down 1. And kind of a big shift up for the Argos, Rough Riders, and Ticats. And like me, he moved the Lions and Red Blacks down. He's got Elks near the bottom. I don't think they're that bad, but I guess if you look at the rest of the teams.
If you look at the last 2 games, yeah, they are that bad.
After that big loss against the Bombers. So there you go, There you have it, guys. Let us know what you think of our power rankings. So, thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Later.